Hey, once again, good evening, everybody. How you all doing? This your boy Rod Thomas Jr. and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is still the same, man. It's Sunday, September 20th of 2020, and we just here for a brief few minutes, man, just to blow off a little steam. I noticed the little video that we just uploaded. Well, we did it actually live. We uploaded it and we got quite a few hits on it, likes and responses. And I'm learning now that I'm gonna have to start doing more and more of these videos, to get our viewership up. Hey, Head Night Son. Hey, how's it going, my brother? Good afternoon. How you doing this evening, man? We just here talking a little bit, man. I really want to reach out to all the subscribers of this channel and apologize that I haven't been able to be consistently putting out these videos over the last week or two. But those are personal issues, personal stuff I got going on around here, man. And it's kind of frustrating because I really do want this show, this channel, man, to explode, man. We come a long way. I think we started out a little too hard in the paint for the type of content that we put out. It's very controversial. Some of the things we said throughout the time that we've been on here probably has gotten us what gotten us shadow banned. But we thank y'all for all y'all support. If y'all come in, man, just let us know where you from. And hit the like button so we can get a few views. As long as we got viewers, man, I'll continue with the video. I really don't have nothing to talk about, outside of what I talked about earlier, how the politicians are playing games with American people. They're positioning themselves, jockeying for positions, while people here in America, man, are going hungry. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about on that. Also, y'all see the video we did Friday, where we talked about how we've had 4 police just this past Friday, get brought up on charges for negligent homicide. That brings the total to 12 police here in Shreveport, Louisiana, over the last 3.5 months to face some kind of criminal charges. Not only get fired, but face some kind of criminal charges for excessive force. I think it was back in May, June, I just say June, July, August, somewhere up in there. June or July, we had 8 police officers get suspended. At first they got suspended, but then they wind up being brought up under charges. Hey, off the bat, and that's just cause what you're saying. Hey, how you doing? How you pronounce that? Adriano? How you doing, Stafford? I'm just call you Adriano. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't want to butcher your name up, but yeah. We got, it's crazy here in Shreveport. And I hate to say it. I don't know if a lot of y'all probably, you can go to World Star Hip Hop and look at Mother's Day of last year, the Mother's Day Melee. A lot of that happened at my house. Now, I'm not trying to brag or boast, but God has blessed me to be instrumental in a couple of these cases where these police are being brought up on charges. I had nothing really to do with these last 4 that got indicted for killing Tommy McLaughlin. I think he was murdered. They murdered him in April. Actually, in April, we had 2 black men to get murdered by the police here in Shreveport. There's another person that we got to try to get justice for. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, God has blessed me to be a part of a couple of these officers' demise, especially the 2 officers that pretty much facilitated that beatdown of them innocent elderly people across the street from me last Mother's Day. That was crazy. The police came, man, I'm talking about the police, instead of coming and trying to find out what happened and make peace, they came and started a whole nother fight. 45 police cars deep on this one street. And them motherfucking Keystone cops ran to the wrong house and beat up the wrong people. That's crazy. But we all aware of police brutality. It's nothing new. My whole thing is, why are they using it in the mainstream media to continue facilitating unrest? See, a lot of, that's something we can talk about. See, a lot of people didn't like when I was telling them and exposing Black Lives Matter. But see, Black Lives Matter over the last 3 months have done a good job of exposing themselves. Do y'all realize they're saying right now these riots and protests and looting and all that shit over the last 3 months, initiated mostly by Black Lives Matter, is the costliest civil unrest in American history? You see what I'm saying? Remember how I kept telling you that Black Lives Matter is hard to take them serious because they were, in their attempt to get publicity, they were allowing people like Antifa and other real leftist groups, violent ass type groups, to participate in their movement. Now they themselves have allowed their own movement to be discredited. Nobody taking Black Lives Matter serious no more. I mean, come on, just look around the country. To you white people, think about it. Ask the average black person that you know what he thinks about Black Lives Matter. They're going to tell you it's bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we're seeing them out here every time the police shoot somebody. But hell, we seeing more Negroes get shot in our own neighborhood, and Black Lives Matter is nowhere to be found. So Black Lives Matter is basically what they did again. I said this a couple of times before. What they did was take a phrase, Black Lives Matter. That phrase is really specific because you're saying that Black Lives Matter. It's a phrase that invokes compassion, sympathy. You see what I'm saying? But they took that phrase and they used it for a political agenda because to them it ain't about black lives in the hood. No, only time they come out is when a Negro gets shot by the police. Where they at when these babies around here getting shot? I'm gonna be real. I believe they're afraid to come to the hood and talk their Black Lives Matter mess because then they would have to deal with some of these killers, some of these real killers, some of these real drug dealers. So, you know, we talked about that. I don't even know how I got on Black Lives Matter. But, oh, yeah, it's leading all the way back up to, man, we're being played by the media, the politicians, and a lot of these special interest groups. What you all have to understand, we do not live in a democracy here in America. We live in a fascist dictatorship where our government, our elected leaders are really controlled by your corporations, your pharmaceutical companies, your military industrial complex, your prison industrial complex, your hospital, your insurance company, your banking complex. That's who really run the country. Again, think about it. The Democrats and the Republicans in the House and the Senate can go on vacation and leave almost 40 to 50 million people in America high and dry with no type of stimulus resources, but they can come back off vacation to get a post office $25 billion, or you let one of these one of these major corporations need $1 trillion. They'll come back off of their vacation, cut it short after only a day and a half, and come back and make maneuvers that's going to benefit them politically and financially. But when it comes to us, they tell them, well, we got to wait till after the election to give you all any kind of financial help. By that time, do you realize how many people be 2 to 3 months behind on their rent? How many people will maybe have to go an extra night or two without a good meal being cooked? But yet and still you see these politicians on the left and the right, Republican and Democrat, in their nice fancy clothes, their nice suits and ties, filibustering and arguing in Congress, as opposed to trying to sit down and negotiate real deals to solve some of these real issues we got. Everybody wants to make it all about Donald Trump. Well, we have a lot of us, really, especially myself, have to look at and give Trump props because Trump made it possible that a lot of us who can't afford to really pay these rents and these mortgages are not getting kicked out of our houses until December. You know, he played a brilliant strategic political move, whether you want to say it was a political move or not, but it was a good move on his behalf because at least he tried. But when you look at Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi on the Democrat side, then Mitch McConnell on the Republican side, they're not giving a fuck about none of us, man. They literally told us, well, we can't figure out how much money we should give the American people, so fuck it. We'll figure it out when we come back from vacation. Came back from vacation, still haven't figured nothing out. And now they're fixing to waste time over the next 4 to 5 weeks arguing about a Supreme Court nominee. All right, we understand that they need to fill that position, but that shit ain't got nothing to do. I mean, let me read some of y'all come. It's all game. These politicians don't give a damn about they do not. Only time they really try to act like they doing something, well, really, it's gotten to the point now, they don't even try to pretend that they give a fuck about us no more. They don't even try to pretend, man. They'll sit back, man, and literally to your face and say, we know that we got 30 million people, close to 35, 40 million people unemployed due to this pandemic. We know we got hundreds of thousands, maybe tens of millions of people about to lose their home because they have been unemployed because of this pandemic. People are still having to pay these student loans or risk your credit getting fucked up. Small businesses are going out of business permanently behind this pandemic. You see what I'm saying? But they would rather sit back and play games and say, well, right now, if the Republicans don't want to do what we want, and Republicans saying the Democrats don't want to do what we want, so what they're saying, we're not going to do what's needed to be done for the American people because we cannot see through our political differences and our political bickering, our political posturing, and our political bullshit to really actually take care of the people who pay our check. Think about it, they go on these vacations, leave us high and dry, and we still got to figure out a way to pay our taxes, which pays for their salaries. And all these folks are rich. Again, like I said in an earlier video, these folks are mega rich. I forget who was it that said the only person that gets rich in politics is a crook. Again, you look at Nancy Pelosi. This woman's so out of fucking touch and out of tune with reality. Y'all remember a couple of weeks ago when she had this big thing about they had this big thing about her going into a hair salon to get her hair done during the COVID virus. And then she turns around and say that I was set up. First of all, Nancy Pelosi, you are one of the lawmakers who are responsible for writing and making the laws. Bitch, if you got set up, that means you don't need to be in a motherfucking position as a lawmaker. That means you are too stupid to understand the laws that you yourself helped make up. But she want us to think, she think we're stupid. Oh, I went in there, they set me up. No, ain't nobody fucking set you up because you should have known better that everything that you was doing was against the laws that you yourself helped pass, Miss Nancy Pelosi. These are the kind of people that we have as leaders. Hypocrites, liars, thieves, warmongers, because that's another thing that I want to talk about. See, a lot of y'all wouldn't understand I ain't going to say that. I like to talk a lot about international issues, what goes on overseas, because you got to realize a lot of the policies, colonialism type policies that they creating here in America, they practice that shit overseas. A lot of people don't know this, but they done re-stepped up the war in Syria again. Just a couple of months ago, Trump was saying that he was bringing all the troops back home from Afghanistan and Syria. Well, it comes out to find out in the article that was released yesterday, they're sending, I forget how many thousands of troops back to Syria to take over some oil. Do you realize what the United States government is doing in Syria right now? The United States government has literally confiscated pretty much all of the oil fields in Syria and will not let the Syrian government control their own oil to help benefit them people. They're basically stealing the oil and selling it off to the highest American oil company, the highest bidder amongst American oil companies. Yeah, man, we as black people especially really need to start paying a lot more attention than what goes on internationally. Then you can understand what goes on in your neighborhood. Again, going back to the police and these crooked ass cops, you have to realize part of the reason why you're seeing the violence against not just black people, but mostly black people in particular, but all Americans. They're getting their training from the Israelis, who is probably the most, right now, the Israeli system of apartheid is worse than what South Africa was. The way the Israelis are treating the Palestinians, black people, we should really be in unison with the Palestinians, because the same treatment that they are getting from the IDF is being taught to police departments here in America. Like that attack that they had where they killed George Floyd with the knee on the neck and 2 on the back. They learned that from the Israelis, man. This is where they get these tactics from. Did y'all see the article? I think I talked about this Friday. The article where the United States government, or the United States military, was thinking about using a new weapon that they got. It's a heat gun. They was thinking about using that throughout America and a lot of these cities for the protesters. The heat gun that they're talking about is basically a large microwave gun, a gun that shoots microwave. It's not a gun per se. It's like an apparatus that sits up on a tripod or whatever, and they beam microwaves into the crowd. And you know, if you know anything about microwaves work by heating up moisture. So what this gun does, when they aim it into the crowd, it heats up the water particles in your body, causing a burning sensation. This is a fact. This is not something that, you know, you're seeing on some kind of science fiction movie. The United States military was actually thinking about using it in Washington, D.C. earlier. They've been thinking about using it in Portland. So what happens now is, as long as we continue the rioting, the looting, and the protesting, we're so divided against each other, we cannot see the politicians fucking over us all. They need us to fight each other. Hey, we got a couple of y'all here watching this video. Go ahead and hit that like button. Help us out. Also, if y'all can, moderator, you know, kind of help them to, right now, Hadnot, you're the only one that's a moderator in here. Help us out, man, by, you know, helping people, you know, reminding people hit the like button, man. Also, remind them hit that Cash App, because we can use a few donations. We need to really get some technical stuff done. Like, really, we need to get the damn phone upgraded. It's running so slow. It takes me almost 20 minutes to upload videos and stuff, even with a good Wi-Fi. So anyway, y'all hit the Cash App, but most importantly, hit the like button and share. But again, y'all, we dealing with a fascist dictatorship that is controlled really by your corporations. In a fascist system, the corporations really control the government. The people have to bail the corporations out. Now think about this. The banks are turning around now saying, a couple of major industries are coming around saying that they're going to need bailouts. The airline industry is saying if they don't get so many billions upon billions of dollars, I think by November, they're going to have to lay off over 100,000 people. You see what I'm saying? Basically, the corporations control everything. So who do y'all think stands to gain and profit from the vaccine that they're trying to rush through due to COVID-19? Your pharmaceutical companies. Now, guess what? If they make it mandatory, that means overnight, whatever vaccine company gets the pharmaceutical company gets the contract, gets the approval. That means they got almost 300 million. Hey, Sister Kimberly, this is the content we came here for. The real news behind news. Thank you, my brother. But think about it again. If they come out with a vaccine and they make it mandatory, nobody stands to prosper from it. Because think about it, a vaccine is not a cure. So that means you just basically going to be pushing this poison into American people's body, and the pharmaceutical company who lands the contract to distribute this vaccine gets 300 million new customers overnight. Same shit that happened when Barack Obama pulled that insurance scandal, that Obamacare scandal. Do y'all realize that the insurance company stood to gain 300 million new customers overnight because everybody in America was forced or had to file for insurance, health insurance. And anybody that common sense know, you don't fix a healthcare crisis by forcing everybody to get insurance. You force the hospitals to stop charging all these exorbitant ass prices. You force the pharmaceutical companies to stop charging $700 for a bottle of insulin, where you can go to Canada and get the same bottle damn near for $30. You know what I'm saying? But this is the kind of shit that your politicians, you know what I'm saying, involved in. Again, they do not work for us. They work for the corporations, man. They work for themselves and the furthering of their political careers and their nefarious political agendas. Watch again how, since Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away, and you know it's tragic anytime anybody dies, But they're finna use this to basically argue all the way up into the election. Because again, Trump saying he's gonna have a nominee picked within the next 3-4 days. So the Republicans are gonna hurry up and they're gonna try to jump on it and get the nominee pushed through while Trump is still president, because they realize if Joe Biden becomes president, then they're going to lose a chance to put a liberal judge on there. So they're going to spend the next 5 weeks arguing about that shit while people still going homeless and hungry around here. People cannot feed their kid, cannot pay their rent, can't pay their electric, their gas, water bill. They can't pay none of their bills because Congress refused to come up and say, well, look, fuck it. We're going to come up on the middle ground. We're going to give everybody that's on unemployment, we'll just say, fuck it, we'll give them $350. Or we'll just give them $300, half of what we was giving them under the CARES Act. Also, we're going to make sure that as long as a person is making an effort, a good faith effort to try to at least stay in contact with their landlords or whatever, we're not going to let nobody get kicked out of their houses, especially if they're on unemployment. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to let nobody, force nobody to pay these $300-400 a month student loan bills, and if they don't pay it, fuck up their credit. See, Congress ain't going to do none of that shit the next 4 weeks before the election. They found the perfect distraction. It's so bad now, the Democrats are even talking about coming up with another round of impeachment hearings just to stop Donald Trump from nominating a person to that Supreme Court seat. Don't y'all think that's fucked up? Don't y'all think it's more important shit right now that they should be focused on as opposed to fighting over who gets to appoint the next Supreme Court judge? All because the liberals want their appointment so they can continue the abortions and all that shit. And the Republicans, the conservatives, want the nominated judge that's gonna keep up with a lot of the criminality as far as discrimination and shit. So again, man, this is bad. Again, if y'all here, man, please hit that like button, man. Interception. I'm sitting up here keeping an eye on the game. New England just intercepted the ball. Touchdown, pick six, New England over 6-0 over Seattle Seahawks. And I ain't no football. That's another thing I want to add. Black people, whatever happened to the boycott? Colin Kaepernick still ain't in the NFL. But every day, all day now since football season, that's all you hear Negroes talking about. My team, football. Colin Kaepernick still ain't got. I'm gonna be real. That boycott didn't last past the first game. You know what I'm saying? But then we want to be taken serious, but we can't even hold. Having a financial boycott is one thing, because sometimes you gotta go to grocery stores, you gotta buy shit sometime. But we couldn't even do something as simple as turn the motherfucking TV off in support of Colin Kaepernick. But now everybody still talking about, I stand with Cap. Well, Cap's still in the unemployment line. But you're still watching the games. It shows you the hypocrisy, man. But anyway, man, I just jumped on here because, like I said, I've been feeling kind of low, man. You know, especially when I just kind of went to the store and come back and find out that they still got my bank account suspended. And I'm like, what the fuck? Out of all this shit going on, man, y'all gonna suspend my bank account because y'all saying that you're finding a couple of payments that there was a discrepancy in these payments, and not only did you suspend my account, but you got my payments in limbo. I can't even get my own money. Crazy, man. Crazy shit I ever heard. But these banks that got the power. Notice how this. Notice. The banks can steal $25 billion from their customers. And nobody goes to jail. Nobody goes to jail. They'll steal $25 billion in overdraft fees. Just remember the scam, I forget, a couple of banks got caught a couple of years back, or the scam where they were deliberately overdrafting people, allowing people bank account to overdraft so that they can get that extra fee. They get caught to the tune of $100-some billion, and all they gotta do is pay back a $10 million fine. Nobody goes to jail. But if a Negro goes into the store and steal a pack of motherfucking vanilla wafer cookies, you know what I'm saying? He's getting a shoplifting charge. You go and steal $1,000 from somewhere, or let a bank overpay you, or an ATM belong to a bank, kick out $1,000 too much and you keep it. You're gonna do 10, 15 years. But these banks can overcharge you, rob you, and steal you to the tune of $100-some billion, and all they get is a $10 million fine. And you know what I'm saying? Nobody goes to jail. Hell, don't you think they're gonna continue to steal? If I can steal $100 billion and all I gotta do is pay back $10 million when I get caught and nobody goes to jail? See, this is the kind of society we live in, bruh. We live in a hell of a place again, where the people who we vote for to go in there and allegedly make decisions on our behalf get in there, man, and then all they do is basically appease the corporations who donate all these tens of thousands of dollars to their campaigns. So again, y'all, we're going to go ahead and end this. I thank everybody for joining us. Again, please, y'all, share these videos, man. We got to get our viewership up. I got to start doing these videos consistently, because that's the only way I'm going to get my watch time, the time that I needed, that I need to eventually get these videos monetized. I think I need about like another 5,000-6,000 hours worth of watch time. So, you know, it's depressing, but I'm not going to get depressed. You know, it's sad, but I'm not going to walk around in sorrow. I'm going to, like my boy Head and I just say, man, I'm keep my head up, man, you know. And again, just talking these few minutes to y'all, man, make things a lot better. So y'all pray for me, man. Pray for my son. Pray that things go right in the negotiation. We're trying to keep this house so that I can go get my boy. Because right now, even that's in limbo. Because I'm not sure what the new owners of the house, what the bank is going to do. So anyway, y'all pray for me. I pray for you. Hit the like button, man, please. Share these videos, man. Tell your people at work, your family, your friends. Tell your people about this channel. Also, man, if y'all, if you subscribe, make sure that you hit the notification button so that you can get notified every time we do one of these videos. And also, please, if you can, hit the Cash App, therealnews3, hashtag therealnews3. It's always in the title section. Hit that and make a small donation, man, and help us get some of this stuff taken care of so that we won't be so stressed out every day while I'm laying around here depressed. Like, I really don't feel like, you know, sometimes I'll be feeling like, how can I get on here and talk to these people, man, when I got all this shit going on? But I realize that's the best time to get on and start talking to y'all, when I got crazy shit going on in my head. So again, man, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, make sure you get the notification. Also, please, if you can, hit the Cash App, man, because we really could use that also. So until y'all see me tomorrow, I'm going to come up. Leave some comments. If you come in and watch this video later, leave some comments of what you all would like for us to talk about this week. And we'll pick the five best topics out of all the comments that we get, and that's what we'll do our shows on. So until y'all see me tomorrow, and y'all will see me tomorrow, y'all be blessed, man. Again, hit the like, the share, make sure you're notified and subscribe. Also, please, if you can, hit that Cash App. Until y'all see me tomorrow, hey, y'all be blessed.